What's up, Blue Jays fans? Welcome back to the channel. I'm pumped to bring you this one today because the front office just keeps rolling. They are not slowing down whatsoever, and honestly, the more I dig into this latest move, the more excited I get. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and smash that button right now because we're covering every single development as it happens, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's get into it. The Blue Jays just signed Cody Povich to a 3-year, $30 million deal. And this might be the sneakiest, smartest pickup of the entire offseason. I know that sounds bold given everything else they've done, but hear me out because the more you learn about this guy's story, the better it gets. Povich just won MVP of the Korean Baseball Organization after absolutely dominating last season. We're talking a 1.89 ERA over 180 innings with a 17-1 record and 252 strikeouts, which was a league record. The guy was untouchable over there. Now, before you start thinking this is just another KBO player who might not translate, let me give you the full picture because his journey is wild. Povich originally came up with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and honestly, it didn't go well. He never posted a positive WAR in the majors, struggled to find consistency, and by 2021, he was out of Major League Baseball completely. That was the last time he pitched in the big leagues. He's 32 years old now, so this isn't some young prospect with unlimited potential. This is a guy who got knocked down, went overseas, completely reinvented himself, and is now coming back as one of the most dominant pitchers in Asia. After leaving the Pirates, he spent time in Japan's Nippon Professional Baseball League, working mostly out of the bullpen. In 2022, he threw about 60 innings with a 2.7 ERA, showing flashes but nothing that screamed future MLB star. Then he moved to the KBO, joined the Hanwha Eagles, and everything changed. Last season, he jumped to 180 innings, dropped his ERA to 1.89, struck out 252 batters, and won the MVP award. That strikeout total was a single season record for the KBO. This wasn't just good, this was historic. So what happened? What did he figure out? The answer is pretty simple and actually really exciting for Blue Jays fans. He developed a devastating splitter. Sound familiar? That's the same pitch that Kevin Gausman and Dylan Cease, two of the league's best strikeout pitchers since 2020, both rely on. Povich is going to walk into a clubhouse with two absolute masters of that pitch, and he's going to get to work with them every single day. If he was dominant with the splitter in Korea, imagine what happens when he's learning from Gausman and Cease. That's only going to make him better. Here's another cool part of this story. Povich's teammate on the Hanwha Eagles was none other than former Blue Jays ace Hyunjin Ryu. If you remember Ryu's time in Toronto, he was incredible when healthy and was a huge part of getting this team back to the playoffs. He also loved playing here, talked about how much he enjoyed the city and the organization, and was one of the most fun interviews in baseball. You know, Ryu was in Povich's ear about Toronto, telling him what a great place it is to play and how much he'd enjoy being a Blue Jay. That connection probably played a role in getting this deal done. And honestly, I love that because it shows the reputation Toronto is building as a destination players actually want to come to. Now let's talk contract. 3 years, $30 million. And that's $10 million per year for a guy who just won MVP in Korea and has elite strikeout stuff. Even if he regresses a bit, adjusting back to Major League Baseball, let's say his ERA climbs to 3 or even 4, you're still getting a really solid middle or back-end rotation piece for $10 million annually. That's incredible value in today's market where mediocre starters are getting $15 to $20 million per year. And if he maintains anything close to what he did in Korea, you just got a frontline starter for pennies on the dollar. So where does he fit in the rotation? Right now, you've got Kevin Gausman locked in at the top. Dylan Cease just signed the biggest pitching contract in franchise history. Shane Bieber is back on a 1-year deal. Bowden Francis earned his spot last season, and now Povich walks in with a guaranteed role based on his contract. That's 5 guys right there, all legitimate starters. But here's where it gets interesting. What happens to Jose Barrios? Barrios has been one of the most durable pitchers in baseball over the last several years. The guy eats innings, takes the ball every 5th day, and has been a workhorse for this rotation. But last season, he dealt with elbow inflammation for the first time in his career. And while everything reportedly healed up fine, it's been weirdly quiet around him. No updates, no noise, nothing. And now with all this pitching depth, you have to wonder if the front office is exploring their options. Berríos is owed $24 million in both 2027 and 2028 with a player option after this coming season. If he struggles or doesn't perform, he's picking up that option, and suddenly you're committed to paying him nearly $50 million over 2 years. That's a lot of money for a guy who might be your fifth starter at that point. So if there's a team out there that views him as a 3 or 4 in their rotation and is willing to take on that contract, I think Toronto at least listens. Maybe they get back a bullpen arm, maybe they get a prospect or two. But the point is, with this much depth, Berríos becomes expendable in a way he never was before. And look, I love Berríos. He's been great for this team. But if having him as your fifth starter means you're paying $10 million a year for depth, that's actually a pretty good problem to have. That means your rotation is stacked. It means Povich, Cease, Gausman, Bieber, and Francis are all healthy and performing. That's the kind of depth that wins you a division and carries you deep into October. Here's my prediction. Povich is not starting the season in the minors. No chance. He's too good. The contract is too significant, and the organization clearly believes in him. He's going to be in that rotation from day one. And honestly, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. The stuff is real. The track record is there. And now he's in an environment where he can learn from 2 of the best splitter pitchers in the game. That's a recipe for success. The Blue Jays are building something special right now. They've added Dylan Cease, brought back Shane Bieber, and now they've got Cody Povich for 3 years at an incredibly team-friendly number. The rotation is deep. The bullpen is getting addressed, and they're still hunting for that big bat to anchor the lineup. This front office is not messing around. They're going all in, and it's exactly what this team needs to capitalize on the window they have right now with Vladimir Guerrero and the core that's already in place. So that's the breakdown on Cody Povich. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Are you as excited about this signing as I am? What happens with Jose Berríos? And what other moves do you want to see before opening day? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Blue Jays.